I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It's one game I would put on the Game of the Year list for 2022. At least for games that receive constant updates and new content. However, it wasn't nominated in that category. Despite loving the game, I do feel like there are some things that need change to make the game better, and it's not like Konami hasn't incorporated some of the changes I'd like to see. In fact, they've included alternative formats in the lobby system. These alt formats are mostly in the form of the festival rule sets from previous seasons, which is an excellent inclusion. Also, having unlimited as a format is great as it allows players to play with banned cards. However, that's not the point of this video. Enough waffling. We're going to get into why Master Duel needs to include best of 3 formats in the game. Master Duel launched on the 18th of January of this year. It's a couple of formats behind the English trading card counterpart, which is itself a few formats behind the Japanese OCG format. However, despite being formats behind, the TCG has developed its own metagame, which is incredibly diverse, which is a good thing. It shows that Yu-Gi-Oh! Can have a diverse metagame where a lot of archetypes can thrive. Part of why the metagame is so different in Master Duel is because it has its own ban list. This now means we have 4 distinct flavors of Yu-Gi-Oh! So, reason number 1, format diversity. In a trading card game, if you can include multiple and diverse formats, that means you're going to appeal to a wider variety of players, and it'll allow players to choose whichever era and formats they best like playing. I'm not saying Konami should outright drop the best of 1 format, far from it. I'm merely saying they should include best of 3 as an option. From that standpoint, they should then include ranked for best of 1 and best of 3 formats. By doing so, you diversify the meta of the game further, and guess what? Potentially, players who enjoy spending money on gacha games will like this more, as it will encourage them to buy more packs with their gems to build different decks. That ultimately means that Konami will make far more money off of its player base by doing so. So, why would the formats be further diversified if a best of 3 format is also offered along with the current best of 1 format? It comes down to deck building. In a best of 1 format, you're going to build your decks far different than if you're trying to win 2 of 3 matches. In a best of 1 format, you have to balance your deck far more between defensive options and cards that'll advance your game state. Whereas a best of 3 format means you're going to build your main deck and your side deck in ways that'll allow you to counter most common meta decks. And if you're running a meta deck option, that will help out in mirror matches, which is more common than you'd think. Some decks just aren't viable in a best of 1 format, either because they focus too much on controlling the game state, or because they're glass cannons. The whole game plan of a glass cannon is to kill the opponent as quickly as possible. However, as a result, those decks are really inconsistent. Ultimately, Master Duel favors balanced deck building, and that can be a lot of fun. However, it can get rather stale after a while. Ultimately, more options mean that more players will find something that they like to play, and that's always a good thing, as it improves meta diversity, and the player base will be larger in general. Admittedly, this may seem like a weaker point, because load times are becoming less of a concern with high-speed SSDs and higher-speed internet connections becoming more prevalent. However, if you're running a lobby and want to keep playing against your friend, then having a best of 3 format would ultimately be faster even if you include side decking times. One of my favorite things about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is utilizing my side deck. Why do I like it so much? Because it keeps the matches fresh. It also makes your main deck choices far more important. In a lot of instances, your main deck will be ride or die for game 1, be focused on countering your opponent in game 2, and potentially the most balanced in game 3. Again, it comes down to how you build your deck and deck building as a general concept. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. What would you like to see Konami do with Master Duel going forward? If I get enough options, I might make a top 5 wishlist commenters edition for one of my upcoming videos. Another video that I've worked on should be popping up now. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, feel free to check out my Twitch channel, www.twitch.tv/Lever90. Also, my social media links will be in the description below.